This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call
the Twilight Zone.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 episodes of the Twilight Zone.
No such place, far as I could see.
For this list, we're taking a look at the most character-driven,
Who are we?
thought-provoking, and timeless episodes of the original Twilight Zone anthology series that still stick with us several decades later. Number 10. Living Doll.
She's alive, Daddy, and her name is Taki Tina.
Leave it to the Twilight Zone to take an innocent toy doll and turn it into a genuinely intimidating presence.
My name is Taki Tina, and I don't think I like you.
When Eric Streeter scorns his stepdaughter's new doll, Taki Tina talks back to the disgruntled parent. When verbal abuse doesn't work, she threatens physical hostility as a way to put Streeter in timeout.
Then I can hurt you.
Not really, but I could hurt you.
And things just get worse as the show goes along. Is Tina doing all this, or is someone playing a trick on Streeter? Or is all this in his demented mind?
Hello?
My name is Taki Tina, and I'm going to kill you.
Whatever the case, it's hard not to get chills every time Tina opens her freaky eyes.
I told you you'd be sorry.
Number 9. 5 characters in search of an exit.
You're just like the rest of us.
The rest of us?
What do this clown, hobo, bagpiper, ballerina, and army major have in common? They don't know who or where they are, which is never a good sign in the Twilight Zone.
We don't know who we are. We don't know where we are. Each of us woke up one moment, and here we were in the darkness.
Rod Serling scripted this masterfully written episode, which finds our players questioning their creation, sanity, and existence as they attempt to escape a cylindrical prison.
Let us out of here! Please!
It generates a sense of genuine mystery that doesn't disappoint with its explanation. Without giving too much away, it's one of the few stories where a beloved holiday becomes a villain.
He may be back, but it won't be to get us.
Number 8. It's a Good Life.
Oh yes, I did forget something, didn't I? I forgot to introduce you to the monster.
Are children born innocent and corrupted by society? Or are they born spoiled brats and society keeps them in check?
Bad dog.
Young Anthony Fremont, chillingly played by Bill Mumy, is undoubtedly born with zero empathy.
Don't make any noise when the music's playing. I don't like any noise when the music's playing.
Unfortunately, he was also born with mighty magical powers, and society is powerless to control him.
Not many dogs left now, Anthony. You wish them all away.
Unless people think happy thoughts, this 6-year-old boy will send them to an unknown place known as the cornfield, or turn him into jack-in-the-boxes. This classic makes the most of its horrifying premise, which keeps its characters and audience in a constant state of terror. In short, it's real good.
It's good what you've done to Dad. It's real good.
It was swell. It was just swell.
Number 7. The Hitch-Hiker.
But from this moment on, Nan Adams' companion on a trip to California will be terror.
It's easy to get paranoid when driving by yourself. On a cross-country road trip, Nan Adams is followed by a shabby hitchhiker who disappears as quickly as he emerges.
There he is. Wherever I stop, I see him. No matter how far I travel or how fast I go, he's ahead of me.
Even more unsettling, she appears to be the only one who can see him.
What's going on? What's the matter?
Did you see that man?
Who?
Man, you must have seen him, the one standing beside the road.
Bolstered by a gripping central performance from Inger Stevens, the episode keeps us guessing as to whether Miss Adams is going crazy or if this mysterious man is out to get her.
I was trying to hit him. I thought maybe if I could kill him, I could make him stop.
Our fear grows with every passing mile, and the final destination will stop anyone in their tracks.
Nan was killed just 6 days ago in an automobile accident in Pennsylvania.
Number 6. The Masks.
My guess is that you can measure your life in moments. It can come at any time now.
The only Twilight Zone episode directed by a woman, Ida Lupino's The Masks, is also one of the grimmest tales ever told about inner ugliness.
In my opinion, it is only a matter of days, even hours.
Oh, how perfectly awful. But of course we've been expecting it.
As Jason Foster lies on his deathbed, his self-absorbed family eagerly awaits the old man's demise so they can collect their inheritance.
You came to reap everything I've sown. to collect everything I've built.
Jason doesn't write his rotten relatives out of his will, but expects them to pay a price in exchange.
And I've arranged for all of us to wear masks.
He forces them to wear grotesque masks that match their hideous interiors.
Perhaps not the same degree of excitement that you get from torturing small animals, as I've seen you do in the past.
Creating a captivatingly uncomfortable evening, and a twist that really gets under your skin. Number 5. To Serve Man.
We come from a planet far beyond this galaxy. A planet far more developed than Earth, but we come as friends.
Even if you've never watched The Twilight Zone once in your life, chances are you still know about this episode's shocking final act reveal.
Please, Mr. Chambers, eat. We wouldn't want you to lose weight.
We won't give the ending away here, but it's nothing short of classic and forever embedded in our popular culture.
Hey, we found your book. You mean this? It's a harmless cookbook. It's just a little dusty.
Although To Serve Man is often remembered for one iconic line, the fact is the whole episode is a wonderfully constructed half hour of television.
Don't get on that ship! The rest of the book, To Serve Man, it's a cookbook!
Giving us great reason to forever be suspicious of strangers, the episode demonstrates that sometimes the most peaceful outsiders can be the hardest to read.
Because sooner or later, will all of us be on the menu?
Number 4. Eye of the Beholder.
When will they take the bandages off?
If you're going to introduce someone to the Twilight Zone, this haunting episode is a perfect launching point.
You know, sometimes I think I've lived my whole life inside of a dark cave. The walls are gauze.
From a production standpoint, it's one of the series' most stunning outings, with engrossing cinematography and a brilliant use of shadows.
Blood pressure and temperature are normal, Doctor. There's been no change.
From a storytelling standpoint, it's an intense, emotionally involving tale about a deformed woman's last chance to blend in with society.
I'm sorry your case is not one that we could have handled with plastic surgery, but your bone structure, flesh type.
As for the big unveiling, let's just say it provides a fascinating commentary on conformity.
Each of us is afforded as much opportunity as possible to fit in with society.
How society perceives physical attractiveness, and how beauty truly is in the eye of the beholder. Number 3. The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street.
A tree-lined little world of front porch gliders, barbecues, the laughter of children, and the bell of an ice cream vendor.
If there was ever a Twilight Zone episode guaranteed to chill you to the core, this Rod Serling classic is it. A tranquil day on Maple Street takes a terrible turn as the power goes out and it appears something paranormal is going on.
They don't want you to.
Who doesn't want us to?
Them?
Friends and neighbors become enemies as tensions escalate to a modern-day witch hunt.
He never did come out to look at that thing that flew overhead. He wasn't even interested.
He always was an oddball. Him and his whole family.
While the story is grounded in fiction, the underlying themes it embodies feel all too believable.
Let me tell you, you're starting something here that's what you should be frightened of.
As evolved as humans have become, it doesn't take much to turn us into a frantic, distrusting mob.
You're gonna talk us right into a grave. You'd let whatever's out there walk right over us, wouldn't you? Well, some of us won't.
Number 2. Time Enough at Last.
Mrs. Tester, have you ever read David Copperfield?
How's that?
It's a wonderful book.
Some misunderstood souls simply can't make a connection with the rest of humanity. So they lose themselves in the worlds of television, video games, or in Henry Bemis's case, books.
You, Mr. Bemis, do not function within the organization.
Oppressed by his wife and boss, this bug-eyed bookworm never has enough time to read. When the rest of the world is wiped out in an explosion,
I was right there in the middle of a vault.
It appears that Henry can live out the rest of his days happily reading book after book. Through a simple yet ingenious twist, however, Henry's fate takes an unexpected turn for the tragic. Before we submit our top pick for your approval, here are a few honorable mentions.
No counterattack. Repeat, no counterattack. Too much for us. Too powerful.
Stay away. You are Martin Sloan. Of course you are. That's the way I looked.
I didn't believe you. I saw him and didn't recognize him.
That is man's weakness and Satan's strength. The field investigators in your sector have classified you as obsolete. This finding carries with it serious implications. Do you understand that, Mr. Wordsworth?
What are you going to ask it now?
What else? Am I going to be promoted, for Pete's sake?
Number 1, Nightmare at 20,000 Feet. Before William Shatner boldly commanded the Starship Enterprise, he was a distressed aircraft passenger having a close encounter of another variety.
What's the difference where I sit? It's not the seat, it's the airplane.
Seeing a creepy gremlin tearing apart the wing of the plane.
There's a man out there.
What?
Look, he's crawling on...
This former mental patient's mind is either spiraling back into madness, or the plane is spiraling towards destruction.
I mean, if you weren't well, Dr. Martin just wouldn't let you fly all the way back home. It's just that simple.
Nightmare at 20,000 Feet challenges both its protagonist and audience to contemplate what's real and what's imagination, a recurring theme in the Twilight Zone. Director Richard Donner injects the story with plenty of uncertainty, thrills, and payoffs, fashioning an episode for the ages. Do you agree with our list?
Yes, I do.
What's your favorite Twilight Zone episode? For more entertaining top 10s published for your consideration every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.